I want to wholeheartedly thank Stephen Lariviere and Pod4 Films Limited for turning these 3 Thunderbirds records into actual puppet episodes for the show's 50th anniversary. Stephen launched the Kickstarter campaign in 2015, and gradually raised enough to produce The Abominable Snowman, Introducing Thunderbirds, and The Stately Home Robberies in that order. However, I'm starting with what is essentially the prequel to Trapped in the Sky. These Kickstarter reviews may be shorter since the episodes are shorter, clocking in at 25 to 30 minutes instead of 50. Introducing Thunderbirds is exactly what it says on the tin. Jeff gives International Rescue's new recruits, Lady Penelope and Parker, a tour of Tracy Island and all the Thunderbird crafts. Sources say the record was released nearly a week after Trapped in the Sky first aired, and if you've played or listened to it somehow, you'll notice the various amendments made for the Kickstarter version. We open with Penelope and Parker sailing to the island on Fab 2. Enjoy that yacht while you can, Penny. Once sighted, they anchor and travel the rest of the way in Fab 1 via the hydrofoils, which you won't see in the main series until Lord Parker's holiday. They drive up Thunderbird 4's emergency ramp, and meet Jeff on Thunderbird 2's runway. I'll say right now, despite the very basic plot, the characterizations and interactions make this episode. From the moment he greets them, Jeff comes off as very sophisticated and amiable, as does Penelope for the most part. And Parker, while loyal and generally affable, has moments where he snarks and grumbles, particularly when Penny overworks him, which actually happens quite a bit here. You know that TV trope, early installment weirdness? Compared to her future portrayals, she seems uncharacteristically demanding of Parker and practically wears him out. I get that it's for comedy, and it's pretty funny the first couple of times, but I'm kinda glad they toned it down afterwards. If they kept at it, she could have come off as incredibly obnoxious. Mind you, considering Parker's past, as well as what he does at the end of the episode, this may have been her way of keeping him in check initially, who knows. As for Jeff and Penelope, I agree with Nixie Bobs that there was something going on between them. While downplayed compared to Tintin and Alan's relationship, hints of romance were dropped in episodes like The Man from MI5 and Path of Destruction. And here, Penelope insisting that Jeff call her the more affectionate Penny gives it more credence, I think. So they drive to Tracy Villa, and Penny's just as impressed as I am. Pod4 Films have done a phenomenal job recreating the Season 1 lounge design. The colour scheme, placement of the furniture/ornaments, and various minor details are accounted for, save for a painting where Penny's portrait should be. Not for much longer though. I understand the painting is from another of Jerry's shows, Supercar. Also, the puppet designs, in all 3 episodes, are really well done. The supermarionation technique returns and it's amazing as ever. The behind-the-scenes documentary, viewable on both YouTube and the Kickstarter DVD, delves further into all this, and I don't want to reiterate it too much, since you should check that out as well. While Parker struggles with the suitcases, Jeff explains the setup and confirms Penny and Parker's roles as British agents, or to quote a ladyship, to provide means of rescue where other methods have failed. This scene in particular has been heavily edited from the record. They omit that John and Alan take monthly spells up in Thunderbird 5. It's kind of amusing since, as I said in my review of Trapped in the Sky, that's what it should have been, but chances are they removed the line since we mostly saw John up there, cause, you know, Jerry hated him. Jeff's acknowledgement of Tintin, Carano and Grandma has also been cut, as well as the only time in this particular canon where someone outright name drops the Hood. No really, rewatch the show and you'll notice the Hood is never addressed as such by anyone ever. So is this where the name came from? Finally, Carano does not appear in this version. There was a brief moment on the record where he brought in tea for Jeff and Penny, and when he leaves, Jeff compliments him as more than just an ally or helper, but a friend. Shame really, since some of those moments further establish that the whole team is family to Jeff. Brains radios that the boys are in position, and so Jeff, Penny and Parker prepare to tour the rest of the island. The remote control unit, a big boxy device nearby, is ready and waiting. And guess who ends up carrying the damn thing? They drive around to view the launch of Thunderbirds 1, 2, 4 and 3. Jeff communicates with his sons through the unit, while footage from the vintage episodes plays on its monitor. Scott and Virgil's FABs are stock, as are the launch sequences themselves. That is except for one shot of Thunderbird 2 rolling past the palm trees. I'm pretty sure that's new. Also, you know how several episodes feature a clip of Thunderbird 2 leaving the hangar from this particular angle? Here we see a shot from that very same angle, but with the hangar shut, which they never used in the main series as far as I recall. It makes me wonder if Steven and co had access to a bunch of footage that was never utilized. That or there's some damn good post-production going on here. Penny and Parker are blown away by it all, and who can blame them? Once the tour is complete, they return to Tracy Villa to provide Penny with the necessary code signs and other crucial details. At the lounge, one of the bookcases conceals Jeff's safe, which he unlocks, all the while bragging about how it's the most impregnable safe in the whole world. He opens the door and finds it empty. Penny immediately calls Parker. By the way, I love how he quote-unquote innocently peeks round the corner, and demands he put everything back this second. Penny apologizes to Jeff, who surprisingly laughs it off. I mean, yeah, Parker was caught, but it's still weird. Nonetheless, Jeff is proud to have both of them on board. The last sequence is a montage of all the Thunderbirds in action, and back at the island they finally have Penny's picture on the wall, further cementing her newfound status. If I could summarize introducing Thunderbirds in one word, it's charming. The record is a simple but fun mini-story of Penny and Parker's recruitment that I'm sure longtime fans wanted an audio-visual representation of. And Pod 4 Films delivered. I honestly can't praise the production values enough. The tone of the episode is somewhat similar to Give or Take a Million in how slice of life it feels. In place of the usual grand disasters and rescues are some nice character interactions, though we still see the ships in some capacity. More recent shows often present these origin stories in flashback, and I'm sure the reboot will follow suit. As for this, it's my second favourite of the Kickstarter episodes, and I look forward to covering the rest.